give you freedom. It gives you pleasure, satisfying, and gain. But at the end, it's unrest, misery, and death. And these are the things that Noble Drew Ali has taught us. And these are the things that we, as Moorish American Muslims, we build upon. And anybody that claims to say that he or she is a Moorish American Muslim, they know that that's not just a Friday thing. That's not a Sunday thing. That's not a win. That is an everyday, all day, from the sun up to sundown, or the sun rotate around, or however you want to dress it out. That's where it's at. The Moorish Science Temple of America. You okay? You in it? You say you in it? I hear a whole bunch of sheiks and sheikas say, "I'm in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm in the true Moorish Science Temple of America." All right. Well, I'm waiting on you to say that the Moorish Science Temple of America is in you.
Praise
The true
Allah.
Moorish Science Temple of America is in you. And when they say that, it will be no separation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick the camera over to our brother and sisters that's over here in front of the Moorish flag and the American flag, because Sister Terry, my co-host, is gonna do an interview with some brothers, a brother and a sister that's sitting with her. So I'm gonna turn the camera and the mic over to them.
Greetings, and we are, yes, here to celebrate the anniversary of our great ancestor, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I just wanted to ask a couple of questions of our wonderful guests that we have here today, many guests we have today. Um, our Bennett L, you sang a beautiful song, and it's good to see you again, by the
Thank
way.
you. You too,
Beautiful
sis.
song. Can you tell me about the song and
Um, the
where it
song was
came from? It came from your heart, but other than
yeah.
that.
I used to hear that in the temple when I was younger. I was a
Mhm.
born Muslim, such as Sister Cook Bay. Both my parents were sheiks and sheikesses, and I grew up in Islam. And so sometimes when I sing songs, I can actually hear all the old Moors behind me singing with me. So I think that's very interesting. But that song, it came from my childhood, pretty much.
Okay, beautiful. And I'm sorry, we have Yarrow L of Temple Number Five. And what is it that we need to understand as a community about our legacy um, and our birthright here in the Americas?
Well, that's a kind of intense question, but first of all, I think that nationality is the foundation for all mankind on earth. And so I think it's very important that our people, our children, understand, like the sister was speaking, the knowledge of self. But you need the true history too. See, that's very important. And when you let people define your history, then they define you. But when you define your history for yourself, then you start studying yourself. So I think that nationality and being taught the truth about your history, will help instill some race pride. And if you have race pride, then you'll join the Moorish Science Temple of America. Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he made the statement that this is the only sole foundation upon which all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens. So for us, there is no other way. See, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be practiced universally throughout. And so Noble Drew Ali told us that if these principles are practiced, then the United States would be one of the greatest and most prosperous countries in the world. But he said, if not, then the worst is yet to come. And so, we think that we should honor Prophet Noble Drew Ali on this special day. This is why we are here. This is his birthday. See, and a lot of people think because it's your birthday, you're supposed to receive. But when Jesus, he was 7 years old, his grandmother Anna and his grandfather Joachim asked, and they said, well, what is it that you want? And he stated that I would like to go out and get all the children and those that are not able to eat and feed them, on his birthday. See, so for 7 years, he earned the crown of righteousness. See, so that's what Muslims do on your birthday. We give. And so, in the spirit of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we should try to give love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice throughout to everybody. So, and that's why the Moors, we come together. It's not about receiving, but it's about giving. Islam.
Okay, so that's part of our inheritance. That's part of our legacy. Hmm. And what does that mean for our generations moving forward? You mentioned, sister, that you grew up in the temple. And what difference has that made to you in your life? Can you imagine what your life would have been like otherwise if you had grown up in
Yes.
Please do tell.
I see it every day. It's like there's certain things I won't do. Like I will not take my clothes off for money. I would not do anything that would impart someone having some kind of control over me. And if you don't know yourself, it's easy to fall into that. And then I'm not saying that Muslims don't do that too, because I had an abusive relationship for 7 years and I allowed somebody to control my mind. So you can't, even though you have the stuff, the tools, you have to look inside yourself and be firm with yourself, and basically like get in close with Allah and your Creator. See, once you have a firm mind and you've established a bond with Him, nobody can penetrate that, and He'll send you the help when you need it, and He'll get you out of any situations that you come across because you have that. But being different from most sisters that I see that I am in the populace with, I can see a lot of us similarly. You know, as far as my Christian sisters, my Judas sisters, we all suffer the same woes, the same problems, the same issues, the same foes. They just come in different forms. Now, the thing is, with me, love has been my key to unlocking all the tools in the toolbox. I come from a structure of love. Even when somebody don't like me, when they talking about me, when they punching me in my face, I'm still gonna love them. I know a lot of people can't get with that, but that's what you got to do. You got to learn how to love and understand that that person got a problem, but don't make it your problem. And you be firm and stay who you are in your faith and your bond with your Creator, and He will definitely give you the tools that you need to get up out of that situation. Or because there's a lot of sisters that's going through that because we don't know how to love each other, we don't know how to love ourselves, we don't know what divine love is, we don't know what it look like. I know everybody, I go to school and they see me, I'm in the halls, I got my turban on, I'm smiling and I'm giving out hugs every day. Then someone's like, why is she hugging me? Like, she don't know me. I know you. You my sister. I ain't got to know you to love you. And from that aspect, we are able to heal each other through love. So everything that everybody else going on that don't got Islamism, it's the same problems that we got in the temple and outside the temple. It's the same. And the illusion is that we're separate. We're not. We're not separate. All is one. All is one divine reflection manifesting in its own light. All is one. So when you recognize that about yourself, you can see it in others, and you can accept people for who and what they are, whether they're reflecting something divine or something earthly. You can see it and respect it for what it is, because even though people stumble, they're gonna have to get back up because they your sister and your brother. Everybody make mistakes, so I judge not either. So that's what the temple has taught me, how to love divinely. Divinely, despite our differences. You ain't gotta like me today. I love you. I pray for you.
So that's love and forgiveness.
Yes.
And what do you say about our generations, the generations and the children who are coming forward?
You know, sometimes my mother, she told me when I was younger, if you don't have something good to say, it's best not to say nothing at all. So not to say it's just that bad, but you know, when you talk about the generation and what's going on, it's basically what the sister was saying about love, and it's a lack of that, with the youth. And I think basically it's but what's being taught in home. And like you asked her a good question that, being a Moorish American growing up, what does it do? And she expressed that love, see, because love is the only savior of the world. And Prophet Noble Jew Ali said that we must learn how to love instead of hate. See, so, that's why I go back to Prophet Noble Jew Ali. And again, I'm going to reiterate that the Moorish Science Temple of America has the remedy, for what ills that plague us today and that plague the younger generations. Media plays a big role too. So I think it's very important that we use social media to try to educate the youth and to teach them their true history and more about Prophet Noble Jew Ali. And I'm saying in the truth about the Moorish Science Temple of America, because when we hear, the oneness is Prophet Noble Jew Ali and Allah. And so Prophet Noble Jew Ali told us that he left his footprints clearly cut for all us to see that he, their prophet, went that way. So if you going any other way, then Prophet Noble Jew Ali said, guess what? Your way leads downward, children. See? So he said, clearly cut, he vested all power and authority in himself in the Moorish Science Temple of America. So if we study the prophet and we study the history, because he told us that the same ills of yesterday are the same ills of today, turning about the pivot of love for humanity. But humanity must be lifted from the unwholesome depths of misery, suffering, and poverty and placed on the solid rock of salvation. So in this electrified age, I think the generations are racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they're going and what the end will be. Riches seem to be their only pursuits to be obtained in any way and at any cost. Selfishness, avarice, greed, lust dominate one's very beings, and then humanity in general is left at the hands of those who have no mercy for them. So it's truly wonderful and astonishing to see one come into the likeness of Prophet Noble Jew Ali, being a bearer of the light. See, he say, we call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can reveal the light. See, not receive. See, we gotta, ain't no secrets. See, we gotta start giving them the maximum of truth. See, and when we start doing that, we start growing in that love. See, so love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, they go hand in hand. And if you look at it, when the Moors practice it, look how successful we were rather. You know, right here in Livingston Street in Detroit, you know, before they ran I-75 through, the Moors had grocery stores. Right. You know, the Moors had supermarkets. You see, and sometimes, like I say, greed, you know, come into play, as they say in one of the old songs, you know, money is the root to all evil, you know, but I don't really know how, but I've heard people say that a lot. And so I think that, yeah, the love of money, yeah, I knew it was one of those old souls. It was made here in the city anyway, but getting back to the point is that, sister, you know, we just need to teach them love, but it starts with the maximum of the truth. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he said, with these lessons, you could get your house in order. See, and so it's for brothers to teach the sisters alike, not to falsely use these lessons, because they are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. So it's about the brother getting the house in order if he had the lessons, and it's the same charge for the sister, you see, and don't use the teachings and what Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us to manipulate. But I think that we have to give the maxims of truth, you know, to the youth and to the community, and let them know and see what's really going on, and get a little control of our media as well. So, and that's it.
Right, and that's exactly what we're doing here, and that's what you're doing through Temple Number 5. Where is it located? Can you tell us about the temple?
Yes, I can. Right now, we meet on 7 Mile and Quail, 18921. I think that's the correct address. We're looking at a building off the Lodge and 7 Mile, 8 Mile area. We're trying to concentrate on the west side, that west side area. But yes, that's where we're meeting right now. We were trying to get the chocolate building. You know, it was an old landmark next door, the Dutch Girls. Yeah, so used to be the old chocolate factory. So.
That's before my time.
Yeah, well, it was a historical building, but it's a lot of work. But the more still in possession of it, but it's just some work that needs to be done. But right now, that's where we be meeting on Coyo Street, and the meetings be full house. And we try to get a lot of the sisters. Matter of fact, we got one of our younger members that's here present. You know, Alante. She helps out a lot in the temple as well too. You know, at the age that she is, 14, taking an interest in this Moorish Science Temple of America. And so that's what we want to do, get a lot of the youth, because, you know, years like back when I had joined the Moorish Science Temple of America, there's a lot relatively elder Moors, you know, that were in place at that particular time. So I think that, you know, we need to reach the youth a little bit more, and I think this Moorish Science Temple of America will grow once again.
Okay, wonderful. Give us the address again.
18921 Quail. No, hold on, excuse me. 186
2-1.
18621 Quail. 18621. Thanks to brother Treasure and the audience, brother Daniels Bay, but 18621 Quail.
Okay, we won't get it mixed up again.
18621 Quail.
18621 Coil. We
Brother
got
on the
it.
spot over there.
Okay, well, thank you. And okay, so how else are we able to engage the youth? And also, I'm wondering, I don't know, if we'll have time to speak with some youth today. Maybe.
Sure
Okay.
will.
Excellent. Okay.
Sure will.
So,
We got us a youth or two in here.
okay. So the youth can tell us how to engage the youth too. Okay. So how do we engage the youth? Youth such as yourself.
Um, Me particularly, I still have a childlike demeanor, so I can get on their level and put it where they can understand it and make it fun. See, that's the thing. If children are caught up in the media, they got those flashes or those lights and they record them. No, you got to catch their attention. So I suggest that parents make learning fun for them. When I was younger, we used to put on plays in the temple. Sister Washington Ill up at Temple 43 and Mount Clemens, they would take us in the basement and sing and teaching them. Just get engaged with them. Get on their level. Okay, because I know I got teenagers. I got a lot of teenagers, and they listen to that, that thumping, popping music. So I am actually working on an album that's gonna have some thumping, popping music, but it's gonna have a spiritual message.
Uh-oh.
So our
Watch out
youth
now.
can get engaged in something that's gonna get them hype and on high, on the real high. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So we
That's
want
right.
that spiritual high. So
That's
I'm
right.
working on that
That's
right
right.
now. And other than that, I will be definitely going around to DPS schools and talking to some of the facilitators about teaching the facilitators what a Moorish American is. Because if the teachers know, they won't keep doing the same thing because they see what we see. Everybody sees in society what's going on. So you have to get engaged with the facilitators, the people who are teaching our youth. Because if they don't know, you can't be mad at them. Oh, they ain't doing this. They going to get their paycheck. They got to take care of their family just like everybody else. And they just don't know. So you can't be mad when people are ignorant or they don't know. You can't take that and say, "Oh, you don't know what she's talking about." Okay, then teach them teach them. If you don't like or you see somebody don't know what they talking about, take them aside. Hi, I just want to talk to you for a minute. My name is Blase Split, and I got a beautiful message, and it's about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Now, if everybody lived off of those 5 principles, the world will be a much better place. So the prophet gave us the tools that it takes to talk to the youth, to talk to the older people, anybody. I don't care if they're in the IRA mood, let them cool down for a minute because sometimes people get hot and you don't want to touch nothing that's hot because you can get burnt. So you let it cool down for a minute and then you pray. Sometimes you have to center yourself, get in your right mind before you even talk to people. But with the youth, yeah, get on their level. Get on their level. Dance with them. Do stuff that's fun. Come on. Make it hot. Get on their level.
Okay. Last parting words before we go to break.
I was just thinking when the sister was talking about the DPS at schools, the school system. I had the opportunity to work with the school system, with the fourth grade class. I worked for a year with them, but what I come to understand is that their way of education is outdated too, as well. So but the children are learning at a faster pace, a much faster pace with this being a technology age. But like once again, we were working on a children book, a book for the children that's simple to read, but teaching them about their nationality, make it somewhat comical, a little more, and have a few characters inside that the children could relate to. The things that they go through, in the sandbox, or even being confronted with the words Negro or Black, and just dialoguing with the words within the book form. So,
For what age group?
we say from around maybe 5 to 12. You can make it in between that, from like 5 to 12, where it could be enjoyable for both. Even really just starting if they can just hear, coming out of the womb or period, even
You
just
saying
reading it to
you,
yourself.
I want to
So,
cut in. I want to cut in over here. You saying so it's gonna be a children's book, correct?
Yes.
Is we gonna have artistic work because we got a brother here that's probably one of the best artists that I've seen in a long time, and he's a young brother. I'm talking about, so he's somebody that
We
can
definitely-
relate to that brother Sheik Sandazel.
We definitely
little
need
young brother.
this.
Oh
We
man, the
definitely-
brother. Listen, I'm talking about the brother can take a pencil and draw you and make you look a whole lot better than what you really
so
look.
like I say, we could get with the brother and get a brother the characters. I could write the script. He can come in. We can collaborate.
That's right.
Being it's the city of lights, Medina and Five, we never have a problem working
no
hand
problem.
in hand. So definitely we could collaborate on that. But like I said, it's reaching them, educating them. And so we got to start, boots on the ground, as I say. I tell our people, boots on the ground. I'm in the neighborhood. So
Not only
talking
is
with
it,
the youth.
brother
We have to
Yabro,
engage with them.
not only is it educating them, but it's commerce. because it's a business. And the thing that we need to understand is the reason why we don't have more books out there of substance, not to say that brothers and sisters don't write books, but they're not on the shelves, they're not being produced, they're not being promoted and marketed properly. And the reason why is business. So we have to get in the business of publishing, marketing, and distributing our own propaganda, our own literature, in order for us to start fostering or start planting the seeds properly at the age that it needs to be planted in, because the curriculum that we got in the schools today is not geared towards raising an Asiatic mind to be somebody's great.
You know, and that's why the prophet, man. See, he even covered that for us. He did that back in his day. He had the Morris Publishing Company, the Morris Guide. So that's why I say once again, we have to give the greatest of honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because he told us he didn't leave a stone unturned. So instead of trying to create the new wheel, get in his wheel and just start operating and doing what he instructed us Moors to do, because we all then received divine instructions from our Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And as the minister, Sister Cook Bay, had said, you know, to be a leader, you must follow these instructions. You know, if you want to put anything together in the house and it come with the instructions, and sometimes, and we've all guilty of it, you know, we'll just go and try to assemble it ourselves, and then we'll find ourselves going back to the instructions. But if we'd have just read them and followed them the first time, it'd have been much easier in putting that together. And so, like I said, it's just reflection is the business of man. A sense of his state is his first duty. So I think that we should all reflect and then understand what state that we are in, what condition, and then move forward and better in that condition. So coming forth with ideals, and Prophet Noble Drew Ali encouraged us to have better businesses and better economics will follow. So, and that's one thing we do need at present now is finance, you know. So, and we need to create the endeavors where we can create
That's
that.
right.
So,
And by us being on TV, and what people don't understand, while we're live on television right now, and I'm getting phone calls and stuff like that, and I got somebody hollering in my ear, and by us being live on television, this costs money too. And we're getting ready to expand, not just TV. We're going to take this thing to radio/television, where we're going to have a Moorish United front where you can come on, you can promote your temple, you can promote your businesses, you can promote your temple events and affairs, and all of these things is geared towards economical or economic security. Because when this is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's day, granted, but we got to also understand that we have a forerunner to our holy divine prophet, that our holy divine prophet said was his forerunner. And he said, up, you mighty race, and accomplish what you will. And these are the things that you saying is the will of our people. The Moorish American Muslim, this nation of people, we desire to have our own curriculum, our own books, our own businesses, like when Prophet Noble Drew Ali was here in the 20s. And then when you look at what we have today, Asiatics in America in the 21st century in 2016 versus what those Asiatics was doing in the 20s, it's mind-boggling how we're not way more advanced as a people. You know, so I concur with you on that. But we got maybe like 6 more minutes in this particular segment, and we're going to go to a commercial break. So I want to go ahead and let you continue the interview, Sister Terrian.
Thank you. And we're going to come back over to Sister Bennett L. And I'm not going to have to look at the paper next time. Okay. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on what our solutions are for economic empowerment.
Well. Yeah, I am a so-called nerd in my class, and economic stability to me is about us having our own everything. So I do have some plans that I have actually set out a few years ago in my journal, and I'm going to be implementing them. And part of that is buying up these vacant lots that we have in the city of Detroit and starting to farm them ourselves with sustainable agriculture that can be farmed year round, such as apple trees, cherry trees, pear trees. Those things grow actually pretty good in this area. And we as Moors, we see the brothers from the Nation of Islam on the corners. We could sell it ourselves. But I really wanted to make sure that when they shut down these grocery stores, like my daddy used to say, what you gonna do? We gonna eat, Moors, we gonna eat. So I'm working on it. As many lots as possible, as many hands in that field, in that soil, into Mother Earth is great. That is part of our economic base, because my thing is, what do we need? We need water, we need food. We need shelter. We need electricity. So the other plan is to have us learn how to build our own solar panels and manufacture them ourselves. And I'm saying this on live TV because I'm at the point I don't care who does it first, as long as it gets done. Okay? So it's a we, it's not an I. All I put this in me so I can tell somebody, to whoever is going to do it, get up and go start doing it. Because we need to be economically stable as a people. It's not an I-ism. If I come up on $1 million, we come up on $1 million. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
And that $1 million is going to multiply itself because of these plans that I have, because of Allah and the Prophet and everything that they put in me. The songs and the singing is just one part of the talents that He has given me. I have a mind and I'm using it. So agriculture is one sustainable way for us to secure that our families eat. Because right now I'm thinking about our basic needs, and we need love. So I need love and support from people's good energy, time, whatever it may have you. Money, we know it take money to make money, unfortunately, but I'm on the divine essence of it. I need us to make sure that we have what we need. It's not to me about finance, even though it does take finance to save a nation.
That's right.
the only reason why I need
That's right.
finance.